Hello, 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 hello. Hey, everybody. It's Colette Baron-Reid, and we are in the month of July. And I am here with my brand new Oracle card deck, and I'm going to be doing the energy forecast for the month of July. So where's my glasses? Do I have my glasses? I don't need my glasses. We're going to have no glasses. Anyhow, so there's some really interesting energies this month, and typically July, I'll just say, speak personally, can be watery, obviously, because it's Cancer season, right? And we just had at the end of June, we just had the big full moon in Capricorn, which gets us thinking about the balance between our ambition and all the work we put in, and our home and our life and our snugglies. And then we have all this like really great energy all throughout the month of July, especially culminating in the beautiful, juicy new moon. I think on the 5th it is in Cancer. And then we have another full moon in Capricorn. So there's 2 of them in a row, which just kind of culminates and matures the subject matter. That said, again, watch the video that I'm doing with Debbie Frank on the Astro Oracle reading for the month, but there's some great energy and there's a lot of stimulating energy this month too. So it's not so bleh. Anyhow, so let's take a look. I'm going to do I'm going to just do a 15 card reading on the entire month, and using this new deck of mine. Oh, I just love this new printing smell. They have, when a really good quality ink is used, and they use really good quality ink at the manufacturer. So it's like when you open up one of those coffee table books, right? And there's that little bit of that printing smell that you've got in there. I love it. And it's got this kind of newness. It goes away after a few days, but it's kind of reminds me of the quality and, the quality of the paper. It's nice and thick. I'm just really happy with the way everything worked out. Okay, now let's take a look at this month. Here we go. So the first 3 cards are the Burden of Choice, which is the center card. Then it's beside us is the Rise to the Occasion, and beside us on the other side is Enough for Now and Always. So I want to talk about these 3 cards as the main theme for the energy of this month. So the Burden of Choice is really about the consequence of making a choice. And the burden is, we actually have to make the choice. We can't just sit back and be armchair astronauts this month. But it really does suggest that we want to make sure that we're conscious about our choices, and that we don't go into unconscious projecting, et cetera, and that we're really clear about the choice through which we place our attention. That's really, really important, is where our attention goes, energy flows, right? So when more attention that we place on something. The other thing about this card, which I love, is it allows us to change our minds, right? That's the other thing. It's like, we're not stuck in a rigid choice. Like, oh my God. It's like, oh, you know what? I think I would like to, we get a redo, right? We also get to redo. And beautiful cards flanking, which are these 2, Rise to the Occasion here, and Enough for Now and Always. So the Rise to the Occasion is that we have the strength and the fortitude and the quality of being really spiritually connected and being able to channel that into the world. It's really nice energy for this July, and that is serving others. And it's very much about supporting wholeness, really, as opposed to healing. It's more about supporting wholeness and love. This is a very loving month for everybody. So this is really also about, your free will. Remember the burden of choice, the free will. So choosing, and that you have capability, and you can tune into your authenticity as long as you give yourself that kind of, that again, the break, the slowing down to kind of look like, what am I choosing? Like, for example, if you're nursing a resentment and you can't see past it, that's all you're going to see everywhere. You're going to just be like, wow, what is this? And then on the other hand, if you're too loosey-goosey about things and you're really unfocused, you'll have more sense of being unfocused. So your authentic self is curious. So it's, if you can kind of avoid everything and just stay curious without actually making an intention for anything very specific, just say, I wonder what the universe has for me this month. I'm going to ask to be surprised, and you will be. So that's awesome. Now, enough for now and always is the other card flanking the energy, which is you are enough. You don't have to prove yourself to anybody, and you don't have to beg for your worth either. You don't need, like, as long as you know that you have this worth, that you don't need to be reminded by others that you are, you are, the quality of who you are is somehow being given voice by others. You don't need it. It's that quiet sense of like, I know who I am. I know who I am, and I'm okay. So, and it's also about faith in your needs being met as well. So, like, you know what? Everything I need comes to me. It does come to me when I surrender, stay curious, and really keep that loving connection to your higher power, as well as family and friends. This is the month for family and friends, but it's not that social the way it was all over the place in Gemini. It's much more much more grounded, and at this, you never typically say grounded when it comes to water sign, but there is this energy of feeling like I can be super present in the day. That's really the grounding I'm talking about, is ground your love in the moment. Recognize that you are everything that you already need. Everything you need comes to you without effort. And then you do have to make some effort, which is the other card of saying, you know what, I'm here. I'm here to channel divine will. And I also can slow down enough to recognize, is this choice unconscious, or is the choice coming from a place of self-understanding and awareness, right? So awareness is really key this month too. Okay, now let's take a look at, I'm actually feeling that the reading wants to go its own way right now. So I'm going to choose another 3 cards. I think I'm going to do 9, not 15. So I feel like they're meant to be, this is where we start. Now let's take a look at what is our action plan to stay in our highest good. This is really great. Oh yeah, this is great. Again, remember I said you got to change your mind this month? Excellent. So grace within the chaos is the first one. So it really is about not allowing yourself to get distracted by the inner noise or the outer noise, right? Remember, this is about being in the blanket, staying close to the people you love. You totally can be social. It's just, you want to make sure that anything that's not loving, that is divisive or whatever, you can just put a pin in that. Really, just put a pin in that. The sovereignty of magic is the card that also reminds us this is the flow of things, and sovereignty means this before the material, right? Magic before the material. And what is magic? Magic is the energy behind all manifestation. It's the energy of a relationship between us and the outpicturing of the world. And when we say surprise me, universe, it will. So it's like, okay, it's not my will. No, it's thy will be done through me, right? So it's not my will, although magic is about divine will forward, right? So this is great. And remember I said that we get a second chance. Another chance to be is the next card. So that's about the kind of emotional healing that actually just comes automatically with knowing that we have the freedom and the liberation to change our minds about something. So this is something that we want to pay attention to this month as we enter into this. Well, we already are in Cancer season, and again, to allow ourselves to be a little more languid with the way in which we approach things. But we still have to keep approaching. It's not necessarily the month to just be on our deck chairs, if you will, a little more active. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle the cards again and choose the last 3 cards, which is, what's the result of this month, right? So like, what is the result of us working with the energy? Again, thinking about the theme of the month, about being, what is family? So some people might think of their family of origin. I like to think of my friends that are my family, the ones that are consistent. Like my dog passed away when I was just before I went on Gabby Bernstein's podcast, which is going to be coming in the next month or so. I'll just stay tuned. She's so generous. It was great. We talked all about my dad. It was so good. Anyway, I got a call from my husband saying, our little dog Coco hadn't slept all night and she was coughing and she was asphyxiating, and could he take her to emergency and it would be okay if we let her go. And it happened so fast, except I had this awful feeling that it was coming, even though when I left she was adorable and playing with a Kong and doing whatever, but I kind of knew. Well, of course I knew. But anyway, it was like all the friends that kept in touch kept calling me, "Are you okay? Hey, just thinking about you." Like those are the family friends. Some of these people I've known for a long time, and just can't. And some of them I haven't talked to in a while, but they came around and said, "Hey, I really care about you. How you doing? How's your heart?" Right? That's the kind of thing. So this is the friends and family, right? So what is our connection to our family friends, family of friends? And who do we love, and do we pay enough attention giving them our attention, right? So that's also this theme. So with that in mind, and that it's about relationships, it's very relational, and it's also very much about self-care. So this is the self-care month, and knowing about the subject of caring, right? It's about caring, less about romance than it is about care. I fell in love with my husband because I cared for him too, which is probably why our relationship has become so much better as we get older too, because we really care. So the subject of caring, like what do you care and who do you care for? And it's okay too sometimes that we have people in our lives that aren't meant to stay in our lives forever. But anyway, so that's just something to think about. So let's take a look at the little bit closer to the end of the month. So we know that that's what's going on, but as we move a little bit more into Leo season, let's take a look and see. Okay, emergence of protection, emergence of true knowing. Oh, every word has power. Okay, perfect. So this is very interesting. So these were these beings that came out of the cosmos. I had a little small group of them that all came out of this like black sky, and they had little stars around them, and they kind of looked like they all belong, and they had this strange looking curly lights. And then anyway, this is the other card. So this month, like when we go towards the end of the month, we want to make sure that we are communicating very clearly to the people that we care about, right? Every word has power, and trusting that there's a level of protection that sometimes we don't say things because we're worried that they're going to hurt somebody. Saying those are my dogs. But other times it's really important to be really honest with somebody. So that's also going to come up for some of us, and recognize that how we communicate with someone else is really, really important, that we are compassionate and kind and loving. The emergence of true knowing is that something is going to come out of this that is going to bring ourselves into more of a greater alignment, and there's more to be revealed, right? This is the other thing. So there's more revelation coming towards the end of July for everybody, and it's really beautiful. Like this is a great month. And I gotta be honest, it's kind of good. I sound so surprised because I find July really hard. I am a Cancer, and I don't know why I find it so hard, but I'm like, oh, July, right? But turns out looks pretty good. And again, stay tuned to my video with Debbie Frank. All in all, and by the way, thank you so much. This card deck is like the number one release in all these different countries. It's doing so well, and it's because you guys care enough to get the deck, and please leave me a review on Amazon if you like working with the Oracle. And I'm so excited to see your comments. Anyway, love you lots. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And I think we'll have a link in there if you haven't got the deck yet to get it. All right. Mwah. Bye, everybody. And thank you so much for your outpouring of love. Yeah, my little dog. What can I tell you? It just hurts. It's like losing a kid. It's like losing a kid. Anyway, lots of love. We'll see you next month. Bye.